Hello student, after projection and its example, next we have a union. So what is union? So it is similar to set union. The general form of the union is R union S is equal to set of tuples, that tuples belongs to R or a tuples belong to S, okay, where R and S are the relation and T is the tuple variable. The result contains tuples that are in R or in S but not both. Duplicate removes. So R and S should be union compatible. So R and S both should be union compatible. That means number of attributes should be same. Okay. Here union means what? Get the record from R relation and S relation, but which relation? All the relation of R and S, and if R and S contains the same record, it considered as a duplicate. Okay, so duplicate record will be removed. Second, we have set difference. So in set difference, we have a general form R minus S. So here minus represents set difference. So here T is the tuple variable. So T belongs to R and T does not belongs to S. Okay, so where R and S are the relation and T is the tuple variable. Okay, suppose consider the thing. Suppose we are deducting 3 minus 2. So what we will get? 1. So that is 1 belongs to which? These 3, because these 2 we are deducting. That means same number in this, both the number is 2. So 3 minus 2 is equal to what? 1. So this 1 remains for what? This 3, and this 2 is common for both, so it is removed from this minus. So 3 minus 2 becomes 1. So this thing is same for a set difference. In set difference, what we are doing? Suppose we have a number of records. There is a, suppose in R we have a number of record is equal to 5. Okay, and in S we have a number of record is equal to 3. Okay, so 5 and 3. Suppose these 3 record are same available into this relation. This is the relation R and this is the relation S. Okay, so these 3 records are same available into the this one. So what are the remaining record of R relation? That are 2. That is not match with the relation S. So that's why here T should be belongs to R and T does not should not be belongs to S. Clear? So this is set difference. This is same like our minus operation of our mathematics. Now the Cartesian product. Now Cartesian or a cross product. So in Cartesian product, R of degree k1 and cardinality n1, relation S of degree k2 and cardinality n2. So if we perform Cartesian cross product, so symbol of Cartesian cross product is something like a multiplication. So relation R Cartesian or a cross product S. So what we will get? So tuple T with this attribute, okay, belongs to R, and tuple this belongs to S. So whenever we perform a Cartesian product, so remember one thing, all the tuples are going to multiply and all the attributes are going to be add. So suppose R relation, suppose our R has a 3 attribute and our S relation has a 2 attribute. Okay, so attribute is what? Is it nothing but a column or a field. So here on column we will have a addition. So 3 column from the or a 3 attribute from the R and 2 attribute from the S. So in result table we should have a 5 attribute. Okay, this is the case of attribute. But what's about the case of tuples or a record? Suppose R contains the 3 records, that means 3 row, and S also containing 3 records. So here for Cartesian product, for tuples we can perform a multiplication. So total result table have a how many number of records? So it's 9. Clear? For attribute we have to perform addition, and for tuples or records we have to apply multiplication. So the result of R multiply S is the relation of the degree K1 plus K2. So what K1 and K2? K1 and K2, it is the degree of relation R and S respectively, and degree means what? The total number of attribute of that particular relation. So here what we have? K1 plus K2. So here we have a addition of the attribute and consist of a n1 and n2. Here we have multiplication. So what is n1? N1 is the cardinality of R table and n2 is the cardinality of S table. So cardinality is respect to the record or tuples. So we have to perform, or a Cartesian product will perform a multiplication on the records. So where each tuple is concatenation of one tuple of R with the one tuple of S. Okay. So this is the basic working formula of the cross product or a Cartesian product. Now let's take an example of a Cartesian product. So here we have a two relation, namely employee and pay. So here we have a number of attribute, employee number, name and title. So 3 attribute for employee and 2 attribute, title and salary for pay. And for attribute what we are applying? For attribute we perform addition. So employee number, employee name, title, again title and salary. So in result table we should have a 5 attributes. So let's start employee, Cartesian product, pay. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So here we have a total 5 attributes in our result table. But remember one thing, your title is repeated for a pay table and employee table. So here we, for easily check out result table, put a name of that particular table with respect to the attribute. So emp dot title, that means that title belongs to employee, and pay dot title, so it is belongs to the pay table whenever a particular same attribute is find into the relation. So this is the case about the number of attribute. But what about the number of tuples? So n multiply n2. So what is n1 and n2 in previous slide? N1 and n2 is equal to cardinality of that particular relationship. So here how many number of records? So 8 are there, and here 4. So in total we will get the record 8 multiply 4, that means 32 records. Okay, now check closely. Here E1 record will multiply these 4 attribute, E2 record is again multiply with these 4 attributes. Last start E1 Deo electrical engineer, E1 JDO electrical engineer. Okay, that in electrical engineer from pay table and 500. Okay, now even same for 7,000, 70,000, 45,000 and 60,000. Okay, so E1 will multiply 4 times with respect to the pay table. Okay, so here in result we will get a 32 tuples or a record. Clear about Cartesian product? Now we have intersection. In intersection, typically set intersection. So symbol of intersection is R intersect S. So what should be in our result? So T, that is tuple variable. So T belongs to R and T belongs to S. So whatever the tuple in result we will get, that should be belongs to relation R and relation S. In its basic working formula, it is something like that: R set difference S, and whatever the result that we will get, again set difference with the main R. So R and S should be union compatible in the sense of number of attributes should be same, and its data type of that respective attribute is also should be a same. Otherwise we cannot perform a intersection operation, because it is both the relation should be in the union compatible form. So R minus S means what? In relation R but not in S. What is the meaning of this R minus S? So in R, record should be in R but it should not be in S. Okay, so next we have a theta join. Now in theta join, first we will check the general form of the theta join, that is R, that is relation theta join over function R f R of attribute AI with the S of attribute Bj, and this is the second attribute, second relation S. So tuple T and its attribute, okay, up to Bm, and T A1 to A and belongs to R, and T and its attribute B1 to Bm belongs to S, and F, that is our function. Okay, so we will making a theta join over this function with attribute of R Aj and S Bj, and its condition should be true. Then and then in result we will get the theta join result, where R and S are relation, T is the tuple variable, F R dot Aj and S dot Bj is the formula that define that particular selection. Okay, a derivative of the Cartesian product is R join function over F with the S attribute is equal to sigma, that is the selection operation, with the function F or a formula with the R multiply S. So attribute from the both table, so in the result we will get all the attribute from both the table. Okay, and here theta represent the particular condition. So condition like greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, but not equal condition. Okay, so theta join we can apply for a less than, greater than, less than or equal to, and greater than or equal to 0, but not for the equal join. So theta join attribute in the two relation need not be same. Okay, so in theta join it is not a condition that both the relations should be union compatible. Attribute from both the table, result we will, in result we will get the attribute from the both the tables, and theta represent the condition. Okay, so this is the case of a theta join. Okay, here we have an example of the theta join. Here we are making a theta join, okay, with the employee and ASG table, with which condition? Employee number and ASG number. So here we have a set of employee number, and this employee number we will compare with our ASG employee number, and this is the result that make a theta join with respect to ASG. Okay, so up to title we have a in the employee table, and this is from the ASG table, that is project number, responsibility and duration. Okay, you can check the previous lecture for the all the tables that we have already listed. Now types of joins. Now first type is equijoin. The formula F only contains equality. Okay, here the formula that F that we are going to apply, it only functioning for the equality. So R equijoin with particular condition of attribute R dot A equal to S dot B over the with relation S. So attribute name need not be same, like E dot DID. So employee table have some department ID, and D dot DI department ID. So remember one thing, R and S have it is not a case, okay, that R and S should have a same attribute with the same name. Okay, so name should be a different, that is not a case. So from the above condition, DID, that means department ID, will be displayed 2 times in the result set. But remember one thing, in result table we have a two department ID, because R contains the department ID and S also contains the department ID. So in result table we should have a we have a two time department ID. Natural join, so equijoin of a two relation R and S over an attribute, okay, and common to both R and S, and projecting out one copy of those attributes. So in natural join, if two column are a same, so it will be display only one time, and in equijoin it will be display in two time. So common attribute will be result only one time. At least one attribute should be common in two relation. In equijoin there is not a it is not a condition that you should have or you must have a particular attribute with the same name, okay. So that's why it is display as a two time. But this is not with the case of a natural join, because natural join's basic condition is if we have a two relation R and S, so two relation should have a attribute with the common name, and that common attribute will be display only one time in our result table. So this is the basic format of natural join. R join S, where pi, that means projection, R union S over the selection F of that particular relation R and S. This is the example of a natural join. We have a employee and pay table, okay. So whenever we apply a natural join, one particular thing is that one attribute should be common, that is title available, yes, with the same name, yes. So in this resultant table we have a title with only one attribute, okay. So we should not have a title from employee dot title, pay dot title, okay. So in result table we have a 1 2 3 and 4. Total number of attributes should be 4, okay. So 1 2 3 and 4, because title name should be same or attribute name should be same, so it will be display only once, okay. So whatever the case that is matched with the natural join, it will be display. So here we are checking with the title. So electrical engineer, yes, electrical engineer is matched, so here 5. System analysis, so is there system analysis, yes. So E2, so E2 is again system analyst. Then after mechanical engineer, yes. So E3 mechanical engineer, okay. Then after programmer, so programmer is available, yes, programmer is available. So E for G Miller programmer, yes. Then after system analysis electrical, so okay, so all the conditions are matched. So in result table we should have a 8 attributes. So yes, in result table we have 8 attributes. So join is over the common attribute title. So common attribute here our title, okay. So the type of a join, so outer join. So ensure that tuples from one or both relation that do not satisfy the join condition still appear in the final result with the other relations attribute value set to null. In previous natural join, equijoin, we have studied about the case only the match case will be displayed into the resultant table, okay. But sometime there may be a situation when we need a particular record, even if it is not matched with the particular another relation. So at that time the not match record will be displayed as a null into the resultant table. So at that time we should have a different type of join. So left outer join, right outer join, and full outer join. So here we have a left outer join. So first we will check the left outer join. So here we have a left outer join of employee and ASG table over the attribute employee name, okay. So check out the condition from this here. In ASG table we doesn't have any record that is matched with EN employee and E10, okay. So in that case here we don't have any record, because this record is not match or not fulfill the condition of a natural join. So that particular record display as a null, because E9 and E10, there is record is available into the employee. Okay, but with respect to that record, ASG table does not contains any information, so in that case it will be displayed as a null. Okay, so left outer join means all the record of left table. Here what is which is our left table? Here we have a employee as a left table, so all the record of left table and match record of the ASC. And if the record of ASG table or a right table does not match, it will be displayed as a null. Okay, now the semi join. Now derivation of a semi join. R function, R semi join over the function S with the S relation, and its general form is projection over A and RA join S B or B of S, where R and S are a relation, A is a set of attribute, okay, and it is combination of natural join with a projection. So semi join is, we can say it is a combination of semi join projection with a natural join. So this is indicate the natural join, and here pi indicate a projection. So semi join is nothing but a combination of a natural join and projection. Example, suppose in our library system relation student and book are available. So suppose we want to find out the student who have issued a book. Okay, so what we would like to find out the student who have issued the books. So student natural join books. Okay, so result will be books and student both will be display. By using semi join we can only get the student who have issued the book. Okay, so by book and student, okay, result will be the list of books those are not issued by the student. Okay, so this is the semi join. We have an example of the semi join. Here we have applied the semi join with relation employee and with relation pay, with employee title and pay title. Okay, so all the match condition of employee and pay, wherever it is match, it will be displayed. So in result we will get the total number 8 records. Now the division or a quotient. So in division, suppose R degree of K1, so R have a attribute A1 up to AK1, S of degree K2, S is equal to B1 to BK2. Let's A1 to AK1, okay, where B1 to BK2. Okay, so what in the result we will get? So here T, that means the result, R division S gives the T of degree K1 minus K2, okay, where Ty, where Y is equal to A minus B. On what is A? It is a attribute, such that for a tuple T to appear in the T, the value in T must appear in R in the combination with every tuple into the S. Okay, so derivation symbol or a division quotient, R divide S or a quotient pi, that means projection of R minus projection Y. Okay, and here what we are doing here, projection with the Cartesian product and set difference. Okay, so this is the internal working format, how division operation internally work. Okay, but in result we want what? R division S. So tuples of S, the attribute of R that not present into the S, which is combined with the each tuple of the S. So in the following example, employee number attribute is not present into the relation S. Okay, so let's check out the example of the division. So here we have a ASG table and project table. Okay, so in ASG and project table we have to apply a division operation. Okay, so start P3, project number P3. So here P3, okay, and here we have a P4. Now underline all the P1 and P3 record, sorry, P3 and P4. Okay, now check out for the division operation. This P1, P3 and P4 is associated with which employee? E3. P4, P3, but here employee number are different. Here E8, that is it currently work with the P3 object. Okay, so in result we will get only E3. Now why E3? Because here what we want? Here we want such kind of a employee list or a employee number who is working with a P3 and P4 project simultaneously. Are you getting what we want? We want to get the result of employee who is currently working on the P3 project and P4 project. So when we find into the ASG table, we have only one record, that is employee E3, that is currently working with a P3 and P4 project. Now check out E6. So E6 is working with only P4. E7, so E7 is working on P3. E8 only P3, but simultaneously both the project P3 and P4 are only done or currently work by E3 customer. So we will get in result only E3. So this is the result of our quotient or a division operation. Now we have a relational calculus. So what is relational calculus? So it is a non-procedural. Rather than how to obtain the result, we say what the result is by specifying the relationship between that data. So it is based on the first order predicate login expressed as a t over the function t. So t is a tuple variables. It means find the set of all the tuples t such that ft is true. So we have in result tuple t, result of a set of a tuples that is true for this function ft, where f implies the predicate condition. So ft is nothing but a predicate condition that specifies the properties that the result should hold. Okay, and tuple relation calculus and domain. Now the tuple relational calculus. So atomic formula for the tuple relational calculus. So tuple variable membership expression is that r dot t or a rt. Tuple t belongs to relation R. Here condition S of A theta t of B, where S and T are a tuple variable, A and B are the component. What it is? A and B are the component attribute of a S and T respectively, and theta represent, as we know, it represent the condition for a comparison. So example, S of salary greater than T of salary. So S of A theta C S A and theta as defined above, and C is the what? So C is a constant, easy employee name is equal to Smith. So this is tuple relational calculus, and SQL is an example of a tuple relational calculus, at least in the simple form. Okay, so here example tuple T. So employee T and T dot salary greater than 10,000. So it implies that it select the tuple from the employee relation such that resulting employee tuple will have a salary greater than 10,000. So this is a tuple relational. Now domain relational calculus. So in domain relational calculus, how we can find the result? So query of the form like x1 x2 up to xn, function f x1 to x1, where f is a well-formed formula in which x1 x2 and xn are the free variable. So query by example, it is an example of a domain relational calculus. For example, select employee ID and employee name of employee whose work for a department 10. So here we can write such kind of a query in domain calculus like that, employee ID and employee name. Okay, so employee ID, employee name in employee department ID is equal to 10. Okay, this is a domain calculus. Okay, so today we are completing our second chapter of a distributed database management system.